Hey everyone, how are we today? Just doing an all signs reading today, looking at your past person. So we'll sort of get straight on into it today and have a look at what's coming out for everybody. I will just let everybody know if you want to leave a comment on one of my videos, you'll go in the draw for that free personal reading. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We're super close to our first 100 subscribers. So I really appreciate your support for subscribing to the channel, guys. Today we are using the fairy tale lenormand, and I do also have here the angel answers oracle as well, but like I said, looking at our past person today. So whether or not this is somebody you are still in contact with, this is, obviously a love connection from your past, somebody that you are not currently with. Okay, so I'm going to start with Libra today and then move on through. As I've discussed in previous videos, sometimes I do like to start at Libra and work from there, just due to my own signs and planet positions. I do find sometimes the energy comes out a lot stronger for everyone if I'm starting with an air sign rather than a fire or an earth sign. So we, like I said, are starting with Libra. You will see me taking timestamps as well, but Libra, how are we, Libra? Just looking today at your past person. What's going on? Whoa, I won't take that one. That was a couple I haven't really asked yet, Libra. Okay, Libra, what's going on with Libra and their past person, please? Okay. And I'm going to ask today for some near future outcomes between you and this past connection as well, Libra. Near future outcomes for Libra with this past person, please. Okay, so Libra, firstly, when we're just looking at that connection, we do first and foremost have the letter, okay? So that's all about communication, texting, calling, all those sorts of things. So I dare say there is going to be some sort of communication coming through from this past person. We also do have the mice card has come out with that. Okay, so I do feel that, the mice does talk specifically about the past a lot of the time. But it does talk about things that are sort of eating away at your mind, and that feeling of loss that you've had something taken from you. So I dare say this communication will be in regards to the loss of whatever's happened between you and this past person, that they are wanting to communicate with you, that they are feeling sort of, I'm getting that vibe of lost without you, that they really want to sort of talk about that and let you know that, look, I do miss you, Libra. We it's kind of eating away at them, that there may be some guilt attached with something that's happened in the past as well, and so this definitely could be sort of it's not directly an apology, but it could be that sort of a vibe. The other card I do have with those there is the clover. Okay, so the clover does talk about good fortune, when a good timing, good fortune, I kind of feel there. And it's them definitely taking that risk to come towards you and communicate whatever's going on here with that feeling of loss, that thing that's eating them up inside. They're going to take a chance to communicate with you and really sort of wanting some good fortune, wanting that luck. It's kind of a very lucky card, this clover card. So we're definitely seeing here communication coming through, and it's probably going to be around taking a chance to let you know, look, Libra, I miss you. It's eating me up inside that I feel guilty about this or that. But I do really feel this loss of not having you in my life at the moment, Libra. So that's what we're got coming through for the connection. And then when it comes through for to the outcome here. I do have the Rider, so once again, news on the way. That usually is good news on the way for you, Libra. So it comes in pretty quickly. So like we saw with that Clover, them taking that risk, that is a short-term card as well. So both of these cards are kind of, pretty fast-paced, things happening quickly. It's kind of that vibe of someone going, effort, I'm just going to reach out to Libra, and it just happens so suddenly, that they might not even be sort of planning this. It just sort of comes out of the blue to contact you, Libra. And what they're sort of coming in here with is the flowers. So, for some of you, they definitely may show up at your door with flowers, that kind of a vibe, but because that writer could actually influence that letter, to be more in-person contact. A lot of the time the writer is someone coming in with good news, and it does talk about more directly communicating with you. So it definitely could be in-person communication. Like I said, somebody definitely could be showing up at the doorstep with some flowers for you, Libra. But that flowers card, it really just shows us that they're showing up with this energy of wanting to give to this connection. They want to give love to you. They want to give, happiness and whatever to you, and receive that from you in return. It is a very reciprocal giving kind of energy. So it's really wanting to, have that give and take with you, and get on the same page with things. All right. So that's what we have for the outcome, for you guys, Libra. So if you are hoping for the return of this past person, it does look, well inclined at this time. But we will have a few oracle cards for you as well. Libra and the past person, please. Okay, Libra. So we do have you're ready. All right. So it's talking about, being prepared for this eventuality of this person coming back into your life. You're ready now. You may have had a period of growth. They may have had a period of growth, needing to really, like I said, get on the same page. And you guys are ready to, face those outcomes together, and work from here. So, like I said, if you are wanting, this return of this past person, it's definitely, the right sort of time for that to be occurring. We also do have ask your angels. So make sure you are sort of, well supported at this time, asking for, that spiritual guidance on how exactly to deal with these things. And I'm getting the vibe there too, that ask your angels, it's kind of, if something in particular has happened in a negative sense in the past, it's kind of asking your angels for that guidance on how can you not, you know, react in the future in negative ways, is kind of what I want to say there, Libra, as well. So just being, wary that you can ask for support, spiritually, on how to actually, maybe deal with things differently to how you have in the past. Like I said, not direct cards, in regard to that. That's something I'm just picking up intuitively there, Libra. So that's what I have for you, Libra. Of course, feel welcome to check your other placements. So we'll move over to Scorpio. How are we today, Scorpio? Just looking at your past person today, Scorpio. Scorpio and their past person, please. Okay, and just some near future outcomes for Scorpio with this past person, please. Near future outcomes for Scorpio with this past person. And I'm feeling inclined to grab your oracle cards now as well, Scorpio. So I'll grab those out for you while we're, before we sort of get into deciphering your message today. Scorpio and the past person, please. I will say, Scorpio, this is, we have just had a very similar message with, Libra. I'm seeing some of the same cards that we had with Libra. So if you do have strong Libra placements, or your person does, it might be worth watching that section as well. Okay, so Okay, definitely. All right. So, firstly, when it comes to this situation, we do have the crossroads, followed by the mice card. Okay, so quite interesting there. The crossroads really does talk about choosing which path to take, making a choice or decision as to, I feel as though, whether you want to accept the loss or not. The mice does talk about, past loss, things that are sort of eating away at you a little bit inside your head there, Scorpio. So, there's something about this past connection that's kind of eating away at you a little bit, and you're needing to make a conscious sort of choice as to whether you want to, walk the path of reconnecting with that past person and solving that loss, or if you are going to accept the loss and move away from that altogether. So I feel like the decision's kind of up to you, Scorpio, whether you are going to revisit the past or not. But I do feel as though that loss, kind of the loss of that person, is kind of eating away at you a little bit, and probably for them too. They probably miss you just as much as you miss them, I do feel. But you're the one, the ball's in your court at the moment. I do feel, Scorpio, that it's kind of like you are needing to choose which path you want to walk when it comes to dealing with this thing that's eating away in your head about that past connection. Do you want to rehash the past? Do you want to, go back and see if we can do things differently? It's really up to you where you want this path to go. What do you want out of this situation, Scorpio? The next card I do have is the stars. Okay, so there's definitely some sort of wish fulfillment for you at the end of this path. Okay, so no matter which way you go, you're going to have your wishes realized. I just feel as though it's up to you to choose, you know, is this past person your wish fulfillment? Or do your wishes lay elsewhere? It's really kind of up to you, and if this person is who you wish for, all your wishes will be granted. Okay, so it's just choosing the path and then sticking to it, I feel. But no matter what decision you make, you are getting to this stars. So you really do have a lot of hope, that no matter which path you take from here, you are going to start seeing some of your wishes fulfilled when it comes to, how this connection goes from here. So whether you choose that that connection is not going from here, and that is your wish, that you don't want to sort of see this person ever again or whatever, that definitely can be fulfilled as well. It's really up to you to choose what you wish for with this connection. All right. And then we do see the outcomes here as the house and then the flowers. Okay. So as outcome cards, there is that sensation that, there is this sense of family between you and this person. There is the potential for a lot of stability and security. If you do choose to walk this path to that person, that's where you're headed, somewhere nice and safe and secure, somewhere that feels like home to you. So, what more can I kind of say about that? The option, if you do choose this person, the outcome is quite successful here with the flowers as well. All right. So the flowers talks about giving and taking. It is a very reciprocal energy. So if you do choose to walk this path, it's all about getting on the same page with, giving as much love and whatever, and as well as you're receiving. So really feeling it's a, and like when I've drawn them, oracle cards, one of the cards that has come out is compromise. Okay, so that really covers the same sort of feelings here, that you guys are going to compromise and get on this equal give and take. It's really about getting on the same page with this person, compromising, that whatever it was in the past that's eating away at you, you can compromise the situation, and you do have the opportunity to renew this contract with this person, to renew this relationship. You do have the opportunity there. All right, so we've got compromise and opportunity. So the opportunity is definitely there to follow this path if you so shall want. that. But if you do, if you don't want this person back in your life, the pathway leads to, wish fulfillment for you either way, Scorpios. So, either way, you're a-okay, all right? But, feel welcome to check your other placements as well, Scorpio. But like I said, it does feel like the alternate side of that Libra reading I've just done. Okay, so I am seeing a lot of marrying up. I had similar cards and everything. So it does feel as though you're the other person on the side of what I just saw for Libra. So, you may want to check the Libra placement from their perspective as well. All right. But moving over to our Sagittarians, how are we today, Sagittarius? Just looking at the past person for you today, Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius and the past person, please. And near future outcomes for Sagittarius and this past person, please. And I'm just going to draw your oracles as well, Sagittarius. Sagittarius and the past person, please. Okay, and just going back to the outcomes here, can I please get a clarity for that second outcome card? Okay, yeah. All right, so when it comes to you and this connection, Sagittarius, we do have the cross firstly there. So straight away, you may have a very strong spiritual connection, religious connection with this past person. You may be sort of feeling as though the energy has not sort of dissipated, that even though this person is the past person, you still are feeling very connected to them, I feel, Sagittarius. The cross can kind of feel, sometimes it can feel like that connection is still somewhat of a burden to you, but other times it feels like it's kind of destiny. I'm kind of getting a bit of both here, that, whatever's happened in the past, it does feel as though, it was destined to kind of play out that way. And at times there may be elements of that are a little bit heavy to carry for you, a little bit burdensome, so to speak, but definitely a strong spiritual connection between you and this person. I can still feel that there is a lot of energy connecting, even if you haven't seen this person for quite a while, there still definitely is, those threads of fate between you guys. We also do have the bear energy coming out. So the bear is a very, protective energy. I do feel as though, I'm kind of feeling it's actually both of you, because, you can kind of see this bear here in the fairy tale deck. It's kind of like the Hansel and Gretel kind of vibe coming through here. And you can kind of see the two children in that there. So, I'm feeling like this is you and your person both being protected by this bear. So I'm kind of feeling like that bear is that spiritual connection, protecting the both of you from drifting apart, kind of a vibe. It is a very protective element, but it also makes me sort of feel that you are both kind of standing in your own sense of, boundary, having a lot of boundaries against letting people too close to you. I am getting that vibe that you're both kind of being, a little bit defensive against the other. All right. And that you are sort of feeling, just a little bit overprotective of your own self, and they are feeling overprotective of their own self. All right. And so, sometimes that doesn't actually gel very well, because if you're both, trying to stand strong by yourselves, there's no sort of ability to come together. So it's kind of, standing strong in your own power, but not allowing that to, roll over into being overprotective and scaring people away by being this big scary bear. You want to be that soft cuddly teddy bear. So I'm just getting that vibe of just letting you know, Sagittarius, that you are possibly being a little bit too defensive against this past person, and they are doing the same to you, I feel. So, you're both just kind of standing your ground. It's kind of like that stare off kind of a vibe I've got going there, and both needing to sort of relax the boundaries a little bit to let the other one in, because there is this super connection there, but it's feeling as though you're both very, you know, stuck in your own um, boundaries at the moment, or stuck in your own protectiveness of yourself, which, protective over yourself is fair, but it's when it comes to being overprotective, where you're scaring people off and intimidating people with that, that becomes a bit of an issue, all right? But we are seeing the lilies as well, okay? So the lilies does sort of let us know that this connection, it is very, there's a lot of emotional intimacy within this connection. Like I said, I do feel as though this is just energetically at the moment that, you're probably picking up on this person's emotions. And that's why, you go into your bear energy, they go into their bear energy, because you're kind of mirroring each other, I feel. But I do feel as though there is this long-term connection coming through, especially with the cross there as well, that it's like, you guys are destined and kind of intertwined, and there's a lot of longevity to that. So unless you're actively taking steps to, untwine yourself and your energy from this person, I am getting that grasp that it's something, a connection that's going to be with you for a long time. If you, I'm getting that vibe that even though I'm feeling like you guys are not speaking or anything like that, but I'm getting that vibe that you are kind of destined to be in each other's lives for, a long time, one way or another. You may even have children with this person or something like that, that is sort of holds you together energetically, whether or not you are speaking or together or not. There is definitely some sort of emotional intimacy between the two of you on an energetic level, all right? Like I said, I feel like you guys are probably mirroring each other quite a lot. Um, Now, I do have, for the outcomes, I do have the book, which was followed by the snake. So I clarified the snake with the sun. All right. So that kind of does let me know that, the book does talk about new chapters in the connection, opening up to you guys. And then the snake can have multiple meanings, which is why I wanted to clarify. So with the sun, we are seeing the meaning coming through that the new chapters within this connection are directly involving, new desire, new passion, new ambition to kind of make this work. So there's a lot of passion beneath the surface. All right, we did see the emotional intimacy between you both with that Lily's card, and this is actually the physical intimacy card. So there's definitely a lot of desire and passion toward each other, and we are definitely seeing that, that story can actually continue between you and this person. Now the sun, it is the happiest card in the deck, so it does denote quite a lot of happiness. But someone needing to, reveal some things to the other. So there's definitely some things that need to come to light, in order for this to reconnect. But it could just be the fact that just letting each other know that you still have this desire and passion for each other. All right. Because I'm also seeing the forgiveness card. Okay. So there is a need to, forgive each other. I do feel it's going both ways pretty strongly today. Like I said, I feel like you're mirroring each other. So it's kind of like that whole, needing to stop and talk to this person and let them know that, look, however you feel about me, I kind of feel the same about you, and letting each other know exactly what that is, and forgiving. Don't forget, but forgive. All right, and forgiveness is sort of something that will really help with that bear energy, because it's allowing yourself to be a bit more vulnerable and actually bring that emotional intimacy from the energy into reality in the connection. All right, so that's what we're talking about. Having that forgiveness and being willing to forgive them, and them being willing to forgive you. okay? So it does go both ways once again. But we are also seeing the perfect timing card come through. So once again, that's just coming through as that cross energy where we're just seeing that, there is a lot of destiny, a lot of, there's a strong connection here, energetically, and it's sort of like, it feels like, it was perfect timing for things to have happened. you know Sometimes when things happen and we break away from a person, that's actually what's, the perfect thing to happen for that connection in order for it to grow stronger. It does sound a bit counterproductive, but sometimes it's all sort of divine timing at the end of the day. And you know the universe has a plan for us, whether we believe it or not. And having to, forgive yourself as well, guys. Forgive yourself. I do feel I'm probably talking to a few cross watchers here as well, because it's going both ways so strongly. But perfect timing. So you will kind of intuitively know when the perfect time is to reconnect with this person. I do feel that for majority of you, this is kind of something that probably is going to be a long-term connection. And, otherwise you probably wouldn't even be watching, right, if you didn't want to reconnect with this past person. So, I feel a bit weird about that sometimes. Like if the messages keep coming out that, oh, you're going to get back together kind of vibe, like, what if you don't, like, want to get back together? Like, but obviously that would have come out if that was the case. All right, but that's what we have for you today, Sagittarius. Like I said, you always say, you're more than welcome to check your other placements if that doesn't resonate for you. But we'll move over to our Capricorns. How are we today, Capricorn? Pardon. Just looking today at our past person. So Capricorn and the past person, please. Capricorn and the past person. Okay, and near future outcomes for Capricorn and this past person, please. Okay, and I'm just wanting that third card when it comes to Capricorn and this past person currently. Can I just get clarity for that third card, please? Okay. And I will grab your oracle cards now as well, Capricorn. Capricorn and the past person, please. Okay, Capricorn. Sorry. First and foremost, we do have the bear energy. Okay, so the bear energy is that protecting yourself kind of vibe. It can be very nurturing and looking after yourself, standing your ground, keeping your boundaries strong. Those kinds of vibes. It can also sometimes roll over into being a little bit defensive, a little bit intimidating, being a little bit too strong and powerful all by yourself there. It is a sort of standalone kind of energy, that bear card. So I do feel as though this is just you, Capricorn, protecting yourself a little bit. And when we do have the bear coming out in this sort of a reading, it probably does talk about your person being a little bit in that same sort of vibe as well. Just both trying to protect your own selves. Obviously this is a past connection. There probably has been some things that have happened in the past that have led to that being in the past. And you're both kind of a little bit defensive against, rehashing the same stuff with this person. Still probably a little bit, I want to say, someone's probably still a little bit angry about something that has happened in the past, whether that's you or this person. You'll probably have a better idea than I would. But also, like I said with the bear, it's kind of all about nurturing yourself and looking out for yourself and protecting your own interests, which is, I feel it's probably quite necessary, I feel, in this particular vibe here. It is feeling as though, it's smart for you to protect yourself. Okay, Capricorn, look after yourself. Make sure you're looking after yourself and not, um, you know, protecting your inner strength and protecting your inner power, because you've got a lot with this card coming out. Sometimes this actually does talk to me about Capricorn directly, because it is quite a strong, powerful card. So a lot of the time it does represent Capricorn anyway. So you guys are sort of one of the bears of the zodiac. So it really is that strong, powerful, determined kind of energy to just, keep your boundaries firm. Don't allow people to step on your toes, kind of thing. All right. But what we're seeing next, we do have the stork energy. All right. So the stork sort of comes in and stirs everything up and shakes things up and gets things moving. All right. So it does have a lot of movement with it. So it does feel as though, you know, something is, it's not really telling me what exactly is going on here, Capricorn. It's going to be different for everyone within the collective, but something is stirring up the energy of this connection, all right, and sort of injecting it with new energy. So there is some sort of new energy coming in from this connection, but it's got to actually do with the past, all right. So that's kind of a bit random, because we have the mice there, all right, and the mice does generally talk about past energy. It talks about, that feeling of loss, like you've lost something from your life. So I feel as though this is both of you kind of, feeling as though you have sort of lost each other. It's kind of eating away at you a little bit with that there, and I feel like that's probably what is stirring up this new energy. That it's kind of that vibe of like, and someone may have realized something about something that happened in the past and just be sort of looking at that differently. They may have realized something about a way that something has happened, or or I want to say that, it's got to do with this bear as well, that someone's kind of looking back at the past and it's eating away at them of like, why did this happen like that? And then they're realizing that it's because you were both in this bear energy and you're both just sort of, hang on, maybe they weren't being as horrible as I thought they were. Maybe they were just protecting themselves. All right. And that's why they were a bit guarded, is what I want to say there. So it does feel as though someone's kind of, coming to some sort of realization, and that's what is stirring up the new energy. So it's kind of a weird message, because it's kind of letting me know that something in the past is actually the thing that is stirring up the new energy. So, it's kind of that juxtaposition of old versus new, but something, it's like a memory or something is stirring up brand new energy in this connection. And then that was clarified and by the writer. And so the writer really is, good news. It's kind of like, yeah, it's like someone has perceived something originally in the past. Someone has perceived something as bad, but now they're realizing that it wasn't bad. It was actually a good sign. And now they're realizing that it's stirring up this new, more positive energy. And they're now going, oh, like, I want to come towards Capricorn and be like, this is niggling away at me that this was like this, but now I'm realizing it was like that. Um, it's a bit of a convoluted kind of message there, Capricorn. So I hope that that makes sense to you guys, because it is coming through like a bit like, I don't know, just odd to me that it's the way that it's coming through. It's not coming through straightforward. It's coming through a bit um, convoluted and all over the shop. So someone's probably I feel like your person has probably been a bit confused by things, and so certain things that have happened in the past have been eating away at them, because there was this level of confusion where they couldn't actually see that situation clearly, but now I feel like they do. And so that's definitely bringing in that new energy, because we do have that stalk stirring up the new energy, and then the rider, he comes in quickly with good news. So that's kind of always like a new vibe as well. Um, so it's like, yeah, but it's like he's coming in quickly to make them. I'm not seeing any, revelation type cards, but that's exactly what that feels like. It's like someone's realizing something about something that's happened in the past and they're looking at something in a new way. All right. Um, yeah. So that, anyway, I'll move on to the outcome for you, Capricorn. The outcome I have here, we do have the garden and then the dog. All right. So the garden is all about, meetings, all right, a lot of the time it's about meeting up with people, those sorts of things. It is a very social card, so it's like getting out and about, doing things possibly together, or it could definitely be talking about you going out and about and meeting new people, but it also, it's pretty straightforward as well that maybe there's this outcome of meeting up with a friend. Like, but that's what's confusing me as well. I don't see how this directly relates to this person. I'll get another card. I'm sorry, Capricorn. Like, I'm probably this once again, Capricorn getting the long readings because I'm nosy and I'm a Capricorn and I want to know all the details for my own self as well as you guys. All right. Okay, the garden and the dog as outcomes for Capricorn and the past person. Why are the garden and the dog outcomes for Capricorn with the past person? Please clarify that message. Okay, so we've got the ship to clarify that message. All right, so what it does feel as though this is meeting happening between you and this past person. All right, so the ship does talk about your ships are coming in, traveling, distance. There may be some sort of distance between you, and that distance is sort of getting close. They are travel, like, it feels like I want to say they're traveling to meet up with you is what I want to kind of say with that. So I'm kind of feeling that garden, like, like I said, sometimes it could be talking about meeting up with friends, but I don't feel that very strongly. I feel like this dog is actually talking about your person. This past person is probably coming through with this dog energy. Like, they could even be coming to you and saying, I just want to be friends, or can we be friends again, or something like that. So for some of you, this past person may not even be like a love connection. It may just be, a platonic connection. I did do the platonic connection reading just yesterday, so have a look at that one, Capricorn. But but even if it is a love connection, that they're wanting to come to you and renew the friendship side of things, and show you that they have loyalty and they want to support you. All right, because that dog is all about loyalty and support. All right, it's kind of that vibe of like, how people sometimes say, oh, my partner is my best friend. That kind of what that feels like. And it does feel like they're headed straight towards you to meet you with this loyalty and meet you with this support in some way. All right, or that maybe they're asking you for support, something like that, because this can sometimes talk about an invitation or a proposal. So I do feel that for maybe one or two of you, this is actually like, they're coming towards you, proposing to you that, look, can we be friends again, because I really need your support. Like, we did see that mouse energy up there, so that does talk about the past niggling away at them a bit too. So it's kind of like, I miss your support and I need your support. I feel like for a few of you, that's exactly what this is. It's like this proposition of, can we just be friends again? I need you. I need you in my life. I need your support. I need your friendship. I need your guidance. But we've got, like, this is majority of the movement cards in the deck have all come out for you, Capricorn. So we've got the ship, the stork, and the rider. They're all movement cards headed your way. All right, so take that as you will. But we do say, we do have the trust card. So I want to say with the trust card, Capricorn, that if you do want this person back in your life, trust that it's going to happen. All right, because I do feel like you can trust this person. You can trust on that support, that loyalty there, it is there. And you can trust that they are headed your way because, like I just said, we've got those 3 movement cards. But then ultimately, Capricorn, it's up to you. All right. So it is 100% up to you what happens after that. So if you do not want this person back in your life, it is 100% up to you whether you do or do not accept that. All right. But if you do accept that, it feels like you are going to be seeing this person soon. All right. So that's what I have for you, Capricorn. Sorry if that was a bit all over the shop. Check your other placements if that didn't really resonate or I was just being too unclear with the message. I'm sorry. I just sometimes they come out weirdly, and then the way I can't really explain it clearly. So I'm sorry if that was the case today, Capricorn. But we'll move over to Aquarius. How are we today, Aquarius? Just looking at the past person for you today, Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius and the past person, please. Okay, and near future outcomes for Aquarius with this past person, please. Aquarius, this is kind of, I'm getting some of the same cards I was getting for Capricorn. So if you do have strong Capricorn placements, maybe check that reading, or you may be coming from that Capricorn reading. I did, it was a little bit all over the place, guys. So, all right, so once again, a Capricorn. So definitely check if you have Capricorn placements or your person does. Definitely check that reading as well, guys. Aquarius and the past person, please. Aquarius and the past person, please. Okay, so what I do have here, Aquarius, is firstly I do have the ring followed by the ship. Okay, so the ring is all about, connections and relationships. It can also sometimes talk about cycles. All right, so it's kind of like telling me here with the ship. The ship, obviously, a bit of a movement card. It talks about travel, distance between you and this person. So I'm just feeling that distance is probably just time between you and this person, Aquarius. But I am feeling that this ring is actually talking more about cycles, and it's kind of letting us know, prepare for the journey to restart. Prepare for that cycle to restart or go back around again. All right, so that's all I'm getting from that, Aquarius, is it's letting us know, prepare to enter the cycle again. Like, prepare for the cycle to restart. You know, they both are positive cards, but it's kind of like you're preparing, like you need to prepare that this cycle is about to restart. Like I said, that's all I'm getting. But I do also have here the bear, all right? So the bear lets us know that if you are heading into this cycle again, that you do need to, I want to say be a little bit guarded, but be protective of yourself first and foremost, all right? The bear is strong and powerful within themselves, all right? So standing in your own power, making sure you've got your clear boundaries set, so that when you re-enter this cycle, that you're not actually re-entering negative sections of the cycle, that we want to protect ourselves against the negative cycles. It's fine to re-enter certain cycles in our life. That's part of life. Sometimes that we do need to redo a cycle, but we need to redo things differently. And the way for you to do things differently this time, Aquarius, is to protect yourself first and foremost. Nurture yourself, okay? Stand in your power. Have your boundaries set. And, you know, if anyone tries to cross your boundaries, rear up like a bear and rip their face off, okay? So, so that you're not repeating the same cycle in a bad way, all right? So it's just letting us know that just prepare for a cycle to come back around, and this is how you prepare for it, and be on your guard a little bit. Be yeah, I just feel like I want to say just be a bit guarded, Aquarius, that, you know, anything negative with this past cycle, that you're not redoing the negatives, all right? You if you want to you know, redo things with this past person, go right ahead, but make sure you're very wary of the negative things and not repeating negative things, whether it's negative things coming from your person or coming from you. Be very wary and guarded of yourself as well, and making sure you're not allowing yourself to repeat anything negative cycle wise, all right? Not repeating the same behaviors or actions, you know, trying to do things in a new way, you know, trying again, but in a new way is what I want to say. All right. The near future outcome we have here, we're not seeing so much of like whether you guys are going to get back together or not. We're not really seeing that. What we are seeing is that we do have the rider and the birds. So we're kind of seeing some sort of communication, some conversation that needs to happen between you guys. And I kind of feel as though it's up to you what happens after this conversation. You know, with that bear energy, with that ring, whether you're willing to repeat this cycle with this person or not. We need to really, you know, because this is, you know, good news on the way with the rider. They come in pretty quickly, out of nowhere kind of a vibe. They come in on their horse, and they bring in good news that they want to have this conversation with you. This bird's card here. You know, I want to say that for some of you, the way that this person comes in, it's going to be like, sometimes the birds can talk about like that chatter in the background. So like gossip. All right. So I feel like for one or two of you, this person is actually coming in and they're like, oh, I had to tell you this gossip. All right. So I feel like that's how this conversation might start for some of you, is that it's like starting in a gossipy kind of sense, or it's like, yeah, I just feel like that for some of you, that this conversation might be sort of coming in from, oh, I've got to tell you the news about this. And it turns out it's like, it might not even be related to you and this person, but then it actually evolves into a stronger conversation. You know, there is an element too with the birds that, you know, they may be sort of coming in to let you know that, look, I have been mourning you and I miss you. Like, I do get that vibe from that as well. Sometimes the birds can talk about, you know, that worry in the distance a little bit as well, that, you know, we need to have this conversation about the things that have worried us about this cycle in the past. All right. So, but then I feel like here's the real true outcome for you, Aquarius. We do have big happy changes in the next few months. Within the next few months, big happy changes. Okay, so I do feel as though it's up to you, Aquarius, whether you want these big happy changes to be between you and this person, or, you know, maybe these big happy changes are that you're moving away from this person. It's up to you, I feel, Aquarius. But either way you personally want to go, big happy changes within the next few months. All right, Aquarius. So that's what I have for you guys. You know, if that doesn't resonate, feel free to check your other placements. But that's, you know, leave me a comment and let me know what you thought anyway, Aquarius. But we'll move over to our Pisces. Hey Pisces, how are we today? Just looking at your past person today, Pisces. Pisces and the past person, please. Pisces and their past person. Okay, and just one to clarify that third card, please. Okay, and near future outcomes for Pisces with this past person. Near future outcomes for Pisces with this past person, please. And I'll grab your oracle cards out as well, Pisces. Okay, so Pisces, firstly, we do have the feminine has come out for the, the current kind of situation. That was actually followed by the cross. Okay, so what I'm kind of getting with that is that, you are getting a lot of emotional yet spiritual guidance at this time when it comes to this past person. The feminine is, very nurturing. So make sure we're nurturing our spiritual or religious side at this time. I also do get, it can be very emotional, this feminine as well. As you can see, it's this particular one is more a lady rather than called the woman. So it kind of really does talk about, standing strong and nurturing yourself and being like very queenly. I kind of want to say, whether you're a masculine or feminine, we are just sort of seeing this queen kind of figure here in this particular deck. And I feel as though that is representing you at the moment, Pisces. When it comes to this past person, you do kind of need to act kind of queenly and like um, stand strong in control of yourself and the situation, because there is probably some emotional burdens coming through as well from this past connection. So I'm just feeling that you probably are still a little bit emotionally burdened, by this past connection, and there may be some issues around that as well. So just sort of needing to kind of really stand firm and royal in the way that you're dealing with your emotions at the moment, Pisces. I do feel is what we're sort of seeing here. Relying on your spiritual guidance, relying on your spiritual and religious side to deal with any burdens that you're facing when it comes to past and the emotions from the past person here. I do also have the snake, which was clarified by the crossroads. Okay, so that kind of lets us know that, that it's kind of really telling me that it's up to you how you decide to look at this past connection. All right. The road is all about choices and decisions. And, oh, sorry, I need to take that off. It's kind of poking my head there, Pisces. Sorry about that. But I kind of feel like that's probably relevant as well. It feels like, it's kind of the emotional burden that you're carrying to do with this past connection. It's kind of poking you in the head a bit, I feel, Pisces, and giving you a headache. Like, that's, I don't know, it feels relevant, all right? I don't know why. That headband was totally fine on me up until I started drawing your cards. So yeah, sorry to go a bit left of center there, Pisces, but I just felt that I should mention that, it feels like it's giving you a headache from, you're constantly maybe even overthinking things when it comes to this connection as well. But it really feels as though it's like your decision, your choice on how you choose to view this past person, because part of you wants to just look at the deception. All right. I feel as though for some of you, there is some deception involved in this past person. The snake can be quite deceptive. You can see here, it's kind of the snake, charming this little squirrel, charming this little squirrel character, and making it think, oh look, I'm nice, but really it's about to like eat the poor little guy. So I kind of feel as though, part of you wants to look at your past person like that they're just this snake, they're this slimy, horrible creature that, you know, they had fangs, and they charmed you and tempted you into things. But then there's a part of you that wants to look at sort of the brighter side of this person, and realize that there was a lot of desire and passion, you know, between you and this person. And, you know, you did have high ambitions when it came to this person. I kind of want to say there. So it's really sort of, I feel like you're sort of struggling to know, which path to view this person as, which side of the coin to really take as, is that the real person, or was this, you know, it really does feel as though you are struggling a little bit, to decide how to decipher what's happened in the past, and whether it was, you know, positive to do with passion and desire and ambition, or whether it was, you know, that negative deception. There may have been both. You know what I mean? It definitely could have been both, and it's really talking about, you know, I feel as though I am getting just the strong vibe at the moment, Pisces, that it's just a bit of a headache for you at the moment, that you don't know how exactly to look at this, you know, the path that you walked with this person. You don't know whether it was this beautiful sunny path here, or whether it was this dark hidden woods path that you were walking with this person. And it's kind of like you just don't know exactly, which path you were even on. And it's sort of, I feel like I want to read this, you know, we don't read the Lenormand in reverse, but I kind of want to read this card in reverse here. It's kind of like you have come, Pisces, from both of these paths, and it's about finding your center path once again. All right. So I do feel as though you're sort of standing here at this fork in the road, you know, but looking back down, trying to find how to balance yourself and balance all these emotional burdens that you're carrying, from the past, and kind of realizing that, you know what, these paths actually were the exact same path. Look, they were the exact same path. So no matter which side of the coin you're looking at from this person, like when you look back at this person, it's kind of realizing that, you know, they were both. Okay, and that's okay. You know, everyone has, that dual nature. Everyone may, you know, they may show one nature, and then secretly there was another nature, but it's kind of accepting, I feel, that, they were both. And I do have one of the oracles I have here is compromise. Okay, so I feel as though you feel as though you're compromising yourself in this past situation, but, by having it in your mind that you have to look at just one side of this path. But I feel like it's talking about compromise, and realize that, you know, you're looking at one thing, not two separate things. There was elements of both. Okay, and having to somehow compromise that within yourself, that, yeah, there was all this really good stuff, but yeah, there was also a lot of this bad stuff as well. All right, so, uh, that's kind of what I'm getting from that. And then when it comes to, near future outcomes for you when it comes to this connection, I do have the Tower first and foremost, and you can see in this card it is sort of Rapunzel up in her tower. So I do feel as though that's you healing at the moment, Pisces. You know, up in your tower all by yourself. You know, it's sometimes it can be a hard place to be in. You know, up in the tower, locked away all by yourself. But, a lot of the time, that's what you need to rebuild these foundations of yourself, and to be able to see this clearly. You know, this past situation clearly. All right. So, you know, take the time that you need to yourself, Pisces, to heal and to deal with these emotional burdens that you're carrying. All right. Because what we do have here is, in the short term, we've got this clover. So in the short term, we do have a lot of good luck around you at the moment. All right. I feel as though it's just, when you're up here in this tower all by yourself healing, don't forget to look out the window and look at all the other things around you in your life. Okay, don't just look at this past person. You know, you are healing, and you are slowly getting there. Okay, and soon you'll be letting down your hair like Rapunzel. You'll be letting down your hair, and then you'll be able to sort of start taking risks with love again. You know, I'm not seeing anything necessarily about, you know, any rekindling or anything like that with this past person. I do feel as though, Pisces, you are just healing from this situation at the moment. And, you know, it's not for right now that, we would be looking at, you know, any potential reconnection with this past person. For now, I just want you to worry about, take a risk on yourself and looking after yourself. And that's the biggest risk you can take, is being able to love again at all, while you're carrying all this hurt and burdens, and while you're looking at this situation so, um, you know, so dual naturedly. The best thing you can do for yourself is take a risk on yourself, and take a risk on making sure you're healed, and making sure that you can love again, okay, that you will be able to take a chance on love again in the future. All right, because that's what's coming through as what's important about this situation, Pisces, is that, the more that you focus on yourself and healing, that the more you are going to be able to take a chance on love again, whether it be with this past person or not. That will be in the future to worry about. Future Pisces can worry about that, okay? Right now, Pisces, you need to worry about yourself, all right? And don't stop, all right? You are healing right now. Don't stop, okay? That's come through, you know, compromising. You don't have to compromise your queenly nature, Pisces, okay? Don't compromise your queenly nature, but don't stop the healing, because you're doing the work right now, Pisces, and you will get to a point where you are able to see everything, all right, and compromise everything into one past person. All right. But I do feel as though right now we're kind of just seeing a split at the moment. When you're looking back at this past person, you're seeing, the good versus the bad. You're not seeing everything. You're not seeing the whole picture. I kind of want to say you're seeing you're seeing these separate paths that could have been taken, but you're not seeing the whole picture. All right. So don't stop the healing, because you are on the way to success. The clover really does talk about, success in all areas of your life as well. It's that good luck card. It's that, pick a 4-leaf clover and you'll have good luck. So, if you do this healing, you will have good luck, and you will be able to take chances on love again, and you will be able to have those things again. Those lighter sides of the path will be yours all over again. You haven't lost the path at all, Pisces. You're clearly on the right path. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Pisces. Of course, if this doesn't resonate, you're more than welcome to check your other placements. But that's what I'm getting for you today, Pisces. And I do. My best friend is a Pisces, and to be completely honest, this actually resonates very strongly with what her personal situation is at the moment. So I wouldn't want to, give too much personal details away, but, I do feel as though this is accurate for the Pisces collective. But, obviously we all have different moon and rising and Venus and whatnot as well. So, and obviously have been dealing with different people as well. So you may want to check that person's sign as well, and cross-watch that read as well. But like I said, Pisces, leave the future for the future. All right, we'll focus on the healing for now. All right, so, but there we go. Moving over to Aries. How are we today, Aries? Just looking at you and the past person today, Aries. Aries and the past person, please. Okay, and near future outcomes for Aries with the past person, please. Okay, and I'll just grab your oracle now as well, Aries. Just give me a second. I've just got to see where the lizards run off to. Sorry about the weird pause there. But yeah, I'll grab those oracle for you as well. Okay, Aries and the past person, please. Okay, so Aries, I do have, firstly, I will say I am also an Aries moon, so I'm happy to see these cards for you today, Aries. We do have the sun first and foremost. So that does talk about happiness, all right? So a lot of happiness within this connection. I am sort of getting that there is still some sort of like energetic connection between you and this person. So we do have the sun there, which does also mean sometimes that there's still things to come to light. About this connection, it's not feeling as though it's 100% over as of yet, because something still needs to come into the light here. We do see that lovely happy moment where the prince wakes Sleeping Beauty from her sleep and whatever. Okay, but we do also see the clover coming through for you today, Aries. So that is sort of talking about good luck as well. So I'm just getting a super positive vibe from your person at the moment. So we do have a lot of happiness, a lot of luck, a lot of good fortune with the clover. It does talk about taking a risk as well. So whether this is you or this past person who is going to take a risk to, bring some things to light, whatever that may be. I'm getting the vibe, though, that it's like positive things coming to light rather than negative. Both of these are super positive cards, all right? So this is the happiest card in the deck. Number 31, the happiest card in the deck. And it is all about happiness, all right, and that joy and that warmth that you feel from this person. And then we do have the clover, which is like, pick a four-leaf clover and you'll have good luck. It does talk about in the short term being able to take a risk, have a bit of a gamble on, revealing your true feelings to this person. I kind of want to say, but we also do see here the garden. Okay, so the garden does talk about, it's that social card, all right? So it can talk about, meeting up with people, getting out and about, spending time together. In this sort of a thing, it could talk about, taking a risk to, ask this person out on a date, that kind of thing, because it can, or vice versa, obviously flip if necessary as well. But it can talk about things like, invitations and proposals, those sorts of things. So you could be inviting this person to go somewhere, like out for dinner with you, all those sorts of things. It can just be, getting out and about, in the sunshine. Obviously, we do have that sun and the clover there. So we're looking at, like outdoor spaces quite a lot in these three cards, that, it might be somewhere that you guys might run into each other, even have that unexpected meeting with this person, all right? But it does feel as though there's a bit of an element, though, of, taking that chance to, proposition them or ask them to meet up with you. Those sorts of things is what I'm getting mostly from that. So if you do want to reach out to this person, it does feel quite well favored to, with the garden there, that a meeting could be in the works for you guys. Now, as the outcomes for you and this person, I do have firstly the lilies. So I nearly said the garden again, but the lilies. So once again, we are seeing that outdoor aspect coming through again with the lily. But the lily really does talk about, strong emotional connections, that emotional intimacy between you and this person as an outcome. So, like I said, with that sun, it possibly revealing true thoughts and feelings. Definitely as an outcome, we are seeing that, if you did take the risk to, reveal your true emotions to this person, or like I said, vice versa, swap it if necessary, that it would be very well favored, and it does sort of lead to longevity of the connection as well. So we are seeing with the lilies, it does talk about long term. Okay, so long term, it's very well favored for you and this person, if that's what you want. Of course, free will is always a thing, Aries. But there is a long term potential with you and this person, and a very emotionally intimate connection as well. Especially with the stars here as well. Okay, so with the stars, it's kind of like, as an outcome, you and this person, you are each other's truest wish. It's like that I wished upon a star and then I met you kind of a vibe. It's wish fulfillment, all your wishes, your dreams coming true, between you and this person. Whatever your desired outcome for this situation is, you know I do have here, ask your angels and that wish will be fulfilled. All right. So we do sort of see that whatever your personal desired outcome between you and this person is, put your wishes out there, ask your angels for that guidance, and all your wishes will come true with that. Okay. We do also have here, the situation will improve. Okay, so whatever you're being concerned about, whatever's gone on in the past between you and this person, you are very well favored at this time to, take a risk to meet up with this person, maybe talk through some things, find that emotional intimacy, that connection once again, and the situation will improve. Okay. So that's what I have for you today, Aries. So I hope that resonated for you guys. Like I said, as an Aries moon, I'm so happy to see a reading, with for the Aries with the sun and the stars coming out and the clover. So, the three happiest, sort of most well-favored cards in the deck. So definitely beautiful opportunities for you there, Aries. All right, but moving over to our Taurus crew. How are we today, Taurus? I'm just making sure I've got the timestamps for you there, Taurus. But we're just looking today at your past person. Taurus, and the past person, please. Okay, and most likely outcomes for Taurus and the past person, please. All right, and I'll grab your oracle now as well, Taurus. Taurus, and their past person, please. Now that I'll put that back on and see if it's going to stop hurting my head. It was hurting my head in one of the other readings, but my hair is such a mess today, so sorry, Taurus. But we do have here, first and foremost, the birds, okay? I do also have the letter, all right? So I wanted to show you both of those because they're both communication cards, pretty much. The letter is direct communications, like talking to each other, texting, phone calls, all those sorts of things. The birds can talk directly about phone calls and conversations, all right? So definitely some communication, going on either, or like I feel like for some of you, you may have already started communicating with this past person, but what we have been communicating with this past person, having a conversation about our true emotional side. Okay, the lilies there, it does talk about emotional intimacy. So I do feel as though this is a very emotionally intimate conversation that either needs to happen or is starting to happen between you and this past person. That and also, I want to say too that with the lilies there, it does sort of let me know that some part of that conversation may be needing to talk about our long-term goals within the connection. Do we, like, what do we want from this? Like, and talking about the long term within the connection as well. All right, so pretty straightforward, Taurus, but we are definitely seeing some sort of communication there. And in the outcomes, I also, once again, am seeing some sort of communication. We do have the bouquet and the rider. All right. So the rider can be a communication type energy as well. He comes in bringing good news. The good news in this situation being that, we're willing to give and take to this situation. The flowers is all about reciprocal energy. All right, so it's about giving love, receiving love, giving energy, receiving energy. It's really all about that, that give and take. It does talk about gifts and rewards and pleasure. All right, so as an outcome card, it's a beautiful card to get. We also definitely could be seeing, someone coming in with a physical gift as well. They maybe look with the rider, they may be showing up with, flowers for you or something like that, Taurus. I did get, I think it was Libra maybe, that did get this exact same message. So, if you do have other placements you want to check, go right ahead. But we do sort of see that, it definitely could be that that physically someone's showing up, coming in on their horse with flowers for you as well. So definitely could be that for you as well. But what I've also drawn here with the oracle is the improving health card. Okay, Taurus. And then in the near future. All right. So in the near future, the health of the connection will be improving. All right. So, usually if in a general kind of reading, this would be talking about actual physical health. But we are sort of seeing here that it's just talking about that health of the relationship as a whole, of the connection. It will sort of start to improve in the near future. All right. So pretty straightforward for you today, Taurus. I've had some of the readings today have just been so convoluted. It's actually really lovely to get a pretty straightforward message, but definitely seeing some communication on the prospects there for you, Taurus. So let me know how that resonates for you personally. Are you actually, like, I do feel for some of you that you are already, communicating with this past person. So let me know in the comments, guys. But I'll move over to Gemini. How are we today, Gemini? Just looking at your past person. Gemini and the past person, please. Okay, and near future outcomes for Gemini with this past person. Can I get clarity for that outcome, please? Can I please get clarity for that outcome? And I'll draw your oracle cards as well. Gemini and the past person, please. Okay, Gemini. So what I'm getting here, I do firstly have the gentleman coming through. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether you're sort of masculine or feminine. I do sort of try not to genderize these cards. What we do see with the gentleman is, someone who's quite strong and powerful, probably a bit reserved, maybe a little bit shy, but also very logical with the way that they deal with things. They don't necessarily come from an emotional place. They are someone who is quite logical with the way that they deal with things, the way they think about things. It's that more masculine kind of energy, that masculine type power, possibly a little bit domineering with the way that they come through with things as well, because they are quite a strong figurehead. But what we're kind of seeing here is I do next, after that masculine, I do have the ring and then the flowers. Okay, so it's kind of a bit of a straightforward message that this person, I feel as though this is your person that is this masculine figure, whether or not they're actually male. That's you obviously know, but I'm, like I said, I'm not genderizing that masculine. I'm just sort of seeing someone standing quite strong and firm and powerful, maybe even being a little bit more reserved normally, but they are coming through towards you, Gemini, with this ring and this bouquet. All right, so they're kind of really wanting to give to this connection. The flowers is all about that giving energy. It really does talk about giving to the connection. Like I said, it's pretty straightforward, because the ring obviously does talk about connections, but it can talk about cycles as well. But with this flowers there, the bouquet, I really do feel as though that simply just means that this person is willing to give reciprocal energy to this connection. All right, because the flowers, it's a very giving energy, but it's also reciprocal, because in order to give, you do need to receive, and vice versa. So, it does talk about, they may even give you like a physical gift. For some of you, they may give you a ring, or come to you and give you, like, there may be something to do with an actual ring, but or actual flowers coming your way. But I do feel as though this is just generally wanting to give energy to the connection. All right. And so the outcomes, though, I do feel as though this is more you in the outcomes. I do have the Tower followed by the Cross. Okay, so there's this strong element with the Cross that there is still some things that you are dealing with when it comes to this connection. You probably do have a few little things that you're feeling a little bit burdened by, things that have happened in the past. The Tower does talk about things in the past sometimes, but I feel more than anything that this is you. You can see that that's Rapunzel up in her tower. You may not be able to see it properly, but there's Rapunzel up in her tower all by herself, still working through some things. All right. So you're just still feeling a little bit burdened by this connection, by things that have happened in the past. That was clarified with the bear. So you're in a bit of a bear energy where you're quite protective of yourself, trying to stand in your own power and your own, trying to stand strong while you're dealing with, any leftover things from the past here. But I do feel that with the Cross there, that there is an element that, you are sort of feeling that this is very destined type connection. You are still feeling spiritually connected to this past person, but you're here in your bear energy, so you're standing quite guarded against rehashing past cycles as well. You're not wanting to give, with the ring and the flowers there, you're not wanting to give to past cycles that may not suit you. You're only wanting to give to new cycles, so it's up to you, I feel, really, as to where we are with this connection. But I do feel that for a lot of you, you're just kind of focusing on rebuilding the foundations within yourself, and standing strong and firm in yourself, and really just sort of trying to work out exactly what you want to give energy to at the moment. And I feel like you wanting to give energy to yourself at the moment more than anything, and nurture yourself a little bit more. We are also seeing, though, success and a year from now. All right, so I do feel that if you do want to rehash things with this past person and reconcile with this past person, it does appear that they're very willing to do so. But I feel as though it's you who's a little bit standoffish, like, I want to protect myself from this. I do feel that that's the case. But, if you do want to go back around to this past person, you do have success there for the taking. It's just a matter of timing. Like, you may need to just take the time to really spend some time by yourself, and work through these past things that have left you feeling just a little bit burdened by the past there, before we will be sort of seeing success. So I do feel for you, Gemini, that there definitely is success if you want it. It's just a matter of, making sure you're allowing yourself the time to, really work through things properly. All right. So that you're not getting dragged into past cycles in a negative way. All right. But that's what I have for you today, Gemini. Okay, Cancer. How are we today, Cancer? Just looking today at you and your past person. Okay. Cancer and the past person, please. Okay, and near future outcomes for Cancer with this past person, please. Okay. Sorry, Cancer. I'm just going to I think I'm just going to get some clarifier cards for you, Cancer. Okay, so can I just clarify what's going on for Cancer with this past person, please? Just one for clarity. Okay, and then one in regard to the near future outcome for Cancer and this person, please. Okay, Cancer. I just wanted to sort of check. I was, you know, some of these cards can be read multiple ways, all right? So I do just like to check sometimes that I am on the right path and I'm, you know, separating the cards correctly, because you know sometimes when I put two cards together that can mean something completely different, and other times I need to be aware to read them separately. So I just wanted to clarify the message I'm seeing here for you, Cancer. So what I do have is the book first and foremost, then the whip. All right, so this is actually a pretty straightforward message once I've separated it correctly, as I said. It is kind of straightforward what I'm getting here from this. So with the book, we do see sort of new chapters, and we are seeing basically the whip can talk about. I'm seeing two different things with this whip today. All right, so sometimes the whip does talk about like self punishment, you know, beating yourself up. About certain things that have happened with this past person. So for some of you, we are sort of, you know, maybe focusing more on the story that's already been written with this past person, that where we're up to in the book of our life kind of a thing, and we're beating ourselves up a little bit, you know, dwelling on some past traumas that may have happened within the connection, some past fighting, that sort of stuff. And it's kind of you know, stopping you from getting to the next chapter. You're revisiting the previous chapter, I feel, for some of you, and beating yourselves up a little bit and just dwelling a little bit too much on you know, that self-flagellation type behavior where you dwelling too much on the, you know, the fighting, the quarreling, those sorts of things, the trouble that happened between you and this past person. So I do feel for some of you this is talking about, you know, past troubles, and that trouble within yourself, to do with this past connection. But for others of you, this is actually talking about the next chapter is just going to bring drama. All right. So I do feel as though there's this element for some of you where, you know, there is, you know, the story's not over yet, but the next chapter, all it involves is drama. All right. So I don't feel as though for this group of you where this hasn't sort of, you're not dwelling on the past, there is some potential new drama unfolding with this past person. All right. But I do feel as though it's not trouble or fighting, it's just drama, all right, to do with this past person. So I'm kind of getting two groups of you there. Okay, Cancer. So you'll know which group you fit into, because if you are sort of a little bit stuck on dwelling in the past, beating yourself up, you know, that will be you. Whereas if that's not you, you kind of, you know, be warned that there may be just sort of some sort of drama unfolding, you know, with this past person in the near future there, I do feel, or currently even. All right. But then what I do have is this is why I wanted to make sure it was separate to that whip energy. All right, because I do have the ring. All right, so I do feel that, you know, the connection I am feeling to that whip energy is that this is a past cycle, like that cycle of trouble that you want to avoid, basically, like that this past person, it may just feel like it was a cycle that you had to go through in life, and you're wanting to avoid going through that same cycle again. And because I've clarified that with the fish, okay, and so the fish does talk about abundance and you know, wealth, but what I'm actually seeing here is that for majority of you, this is you actually focusing on new relationships, because as we kind of see sometimes with the fish in love connection type readings, is that this is actually talking about, don't worry, there's lots of fish in the sea, all right? So there's lots of other little fishies that you might be looking around at, this wealth of availability of these other fish to you, and just being very wary to not repeat the same cycles that you have in the past with new fish, all right? So I do feel that for majority of you, this is actually talking about, you know, there's plenty of fish in the sea, Cancer, you know, find another fish that you like the look of, and you know, make sure we're not repeating same cycles in the past. But when you are looking for, you know, there's an abundance of potential connections out there for you at the moment, Cancer, is what I'm kind of getting from that. And then because in the near future outcomes between you and this past person, I do have the ship first and foremost. That was followed by the child. All right, and the thing that both these cards have in common, they do actually have a very strong common linkage, which is that they both talk about starting new adventures. All right, so I do find as that's the prevailing message for your outcome with this past person is it's not necessarily the past person. It's starting a new adventure altogether. Okay, so I feel as though this ship is you kind of, traveling away from this past person, putting some distance between you and the past. All right, so you kind of get the vibe there that it could be talking about physical travel, those sorts of things. But I do feel as though this part that your past person may have been a little bit immature in certain ways, and that's what led to a lot of this past trouble, this drama. That may be where that drama is coming from, and you're just trying to distance yourself from them and that drama, I feel, at this time. So the child can also really talk about, maintaining your sense of innocence and joyfulness at the way that you look at the world in general. So that sense of adventure with what's next to come for you as well, Cancer. And I do feel that was clarified by the key. So the key does talk about opening brand new doors. All right. So I feel like this is you sort of closing the door on the past, distancing yourself from that, and opening brand new doors to yourself with, all those other little fishies that we did see swimming around over there. But I'll grab you some oracles as well, Cancer, and see what they want to add. Cancer and the past person, please. Okay, so we do have if you believe. All right, so lots of fish out there if you believe that that's what you want, and if you believe that they're available to you, they will be available to you. All right, you can open those new doors if you believe that you want to. All right, we also do have be assertive. All right, so I feel like that's talking about any drama, any tension, any immaturity I feel coming from your past person. Be assertive with, look, I just want to distance myself from you at this time. I feel like majority of you are sort of going that way, so it's being assertive about what you truly want and being assertive with this person that, no, you can't just come on in and treat me like ish whenever you want. I'm not going to repeat this past cycle with you. So I feel like that's what's coming through for majority of the Cancer crew today. So if that doesn't resonate for you, or isn't what you want, feel free to check your other placements as well, Cancer. Okay, but we'll move on to our Leos. Make sure I put down some timestamps for everybody. How are we today, Leo? Just looking today at your past person. Okay, Leo and the past person for Leo. Okay, and any future outcomes for Leo with this past person, please? I'm getting quite a few similar cards to what I was just pulling for Cancer, Leo. So if you have any strong Cancer placements, might be worth checking those out as well. Checking that one out as well, all right? Or if your person does, of course, as well. I'm just wanting to get one to just clarify that what's going on message. What's going on for Leo and their past person, please? And I'll grab your oracles now as well, Leo. Leo and your past person, please. So I definitely am getting a very kind of similar vibe to what I was getting in that Cancer reading. Okay, guys. So if you do have Cancer, or if your person has Cancer placements, it may pay to check that one out as well. But I do have here first and foremost the ship, followed by the child. Okay, so that is actually the outcome that we saw for Cancer's reading. All right, so but I am getting a little bit of a different vibe here. All right, for you, it's slightly different, but a lot of similarities. Okay, but the ship really does talk about, you may actually be at a bit of a distance from this past person at the moment, and they may want to come towards you. You may want to go toward them. All right. It does talk about traveling or distance between you and this person. You may be traveling, you know, by yourself. I feel like for some of you, Leo, it could just talk about you just traveling at the moment, and so you're away from home, kind of a vibe. So you may not even be, there and present for this past person at the moment anyway. But you know, that's only for maybe one or two of you. I feel like you're traveling at the moment. But we do see the child as well, okay? And so when these cards are together, they do kind of talk about wanting to start new adventures. I do feel for you, Leo, that you probably are wanting to start a new adventure with this past person. But what I'm getting with that child is some of you, once again, I'm getting quite a few different Leos coming through here. All right, so I'm getting different messages. But for some of you, you actually have a child with this past person, all right, and that's why we're seeing the child energy there. And the other card I did get to clarify is that bear energy, and so you can kind of see the bear is here protecting these two children. So for some of you, you are in this protective mama bear, protecting the child energy, wanting to keep the child away from this past person. I want to say for some of you, putting distance between the past person and the children for some reason. It's a protective energy, though. The bear only does these things to protect and nurture the children, okay? But I am getting a very strong sort of mama bear coming through with that. And the bear, it's not actually the Leo card, but I do associate it with Leo quite strongly. It is someone quite strong and powerful, standing strong in their own elements. So I do associate that with Leo quite frequently. All right, but I do feel as though this bear is actually just wanting to put some distance between yourself and your children, if you do have children to this person. But I feel like it's putting distance between you, like although like a lot of time it confuses me because generally when I see people watching a past person video, it's because they actually are interested in reconciling with a past person. So, let me know in the comments if you do actually want to reconcile or not with your past person, because the Leos I'm getting here are not really wanting to. I'm not getting that vibe that they do want to reconcile with this past person. I am getting the strong sense of, a bit of immaturity coming through and wanting to start new adventures. All right. So I can't sort of place whether that immaturity is coming from you or your person, Leo, but I do feel as though it's kind of a bit of both. And I feel as though it's like this past person makes you react to them in maybe an immature way. And so you're wanting to distance yourself from that as well as, the person. So for some of you, you may not be actually wanting to distance yourself from the person. You're just wanting to distance yourself from the way that you behave when you're with this person. All right. But with these cards here as well, it does kind of let us know that, like I said, with the child and then the lilies as well is the other card I have here for what's going on with this connection. So with the child and the lilies, we definitely can be seeing a bit of emotional immaturity coming from your person. Okay, and they're just not. And you're kind of, I feel for a lot of you, it may not be the person themselves you're wanting to distance yourself from. It's the behaviors and the words and actions of this person, because they're coming across as, a bit emotionally immature. And they're just needing to, go through some growth and things like that. But also with both these cards together, we do also see that quite a few of you may have children with this person, because we do see some sort of long-term connection with you and this person. With the lilies, the lily does talk about longevity and that long-term connection. All right. So, obviously if you do have a child with a person, that is a reason for a long-term connection with that person. But for some reason, I'm getting that ship coming through quite strongly, that you're wanting to start new adventures, and possibly distance yourself from a lot of things to do with this connection. All right, because overall, you being in this bear energy, Leo, that is it can be a little bit defensive against this person, but it's also mainly overprotective. All right, like protective, and wanting to nurture yourself, and stand strong, and be powerful in your own, like standing your own ground, kind of a vibe. So that's the overwhelming thing I'm getting there, Leo. But like I said, I feel like I've got quite a few Leos, and slightly different messages for each of you. So I am sorry if that the lines are a bit blurred for you there, Leo, but hopefully you can hear yourself within everything I've just sort of said there, because it's just covering just slightly different stories for a few different people there. But the near future outcomes here, all right, we do have the ring and then the birds, all right? So the ring, I feel as though the ring is sort of, we are getting that reference once again, that this is a connection that you kind of are still connected with. All right. So as an outcome, we're getting that it is still a connection there. But I don't want to go as far as saying that it's likely that there's a relationship there. All right. Because sometimes the ring can talk about a few different, it can be that just that relationship with that person. It can be like commitment, but it also can just talk about cycles as well. All right. And I am seeing with the birds that there is a bit of an element of okay, do, do they gossip about you, Leo, or are you gossiping about them? Because there is an element of gossip coming through. Sometimes that can be like background chatter with the birds, um, and so it does feel as though there's like, it feels like there's more people around, like not not directly, but it's like one or both of you talks quite a lot about this connection to other people. The birds is that chitter chatter, like you do talk quite a lot about this relationship, about this connection, as an outcome. So, but there is also that element of like mourning what could have been. I am getting a few of you maybe mourning this relationship, mourning, like having a bit of grief over what could have been a great relationship, but obviously it's a past connection, and it was not, for some reason. But we are seeing that there's potential conversations happening as well as an outcome. Definitely, potential phone calls, or just conversations with this past person. But I feel with this ring, it's you really, Leo, wanting to be very careful to not repeat the same cycle that you've been through already with this person. And that's probably what you're trying to distance yourself from, is repeating the same cycle. All right. So that's what I have for you guys. I'm sorry if that's a bit all over the place, Leo, but the oracles that we do have for you here is success. Okay, so whatever you want, whatever outcome you do want with this past connection, success. Okay, you can get the outcome that you do want with this connection. We also do have abundance coming through as well. So I do feel that with the abundance card, it can talk about quite a few different types of abundance. It can be talking about, abundance within the connection, but it also can be talking about um, abundance elsewhere in your life as well, Leo. So stopping and looking around, and seeing the abundance of beauty around you in your life, and the abundance of love and other connections that you have in your life aside from this one. So I'm feeling that it's kind of reminding us to, look for the abundance that we do already have, rather than focusing on, this past cycle that you're feeling a bit protective against at the moment. All right, Leo. So that's what I have for you guys. Like I said, if that doesn't resonate, feel more than welcome to check your other placements. All right. Um, I normally would suggest your moon, but I feel for you today, Leo, that it may pay to check your Venus sign or your person's sign, okay? So that's what we have for you, Leo. So we'll move over to our Virgos. And just take timestamps there. How are we today, Virgo? Just looking at you and your past person. Okay, Virgo and the past person, please. I'll come back to that. Sorry, Virgo. I'm just thinking I might need to clarify some of your message there. All right, so near future outcomes for Virgo with their past person, please. Okay, so if that's the outcome, why... Okay, can we just clarify that third card for Virgo and the past person, please? Please sorry, Virgo. Clarity for your third card with Virgo and the past person, please. All right, I'll grab your oracles as well, Virgo. So don't mind me off in my own little world here. Like, you know, sometimes I do read messages like with my hands, so it's not many people understand that one. So you do just see me sometimes doing weird little staring off into space with my fingers going crazy. Okay, Virgo and the past person, please. Is that for me or for Virgo? Are you telling me that or Virgo? Okay, I thought I had a very clear message for you, Virgo, but the oracle cards have just kind of gone the opposite on that. Okay, so clarity for Virgo, please. Clarity for Virgo, please. With the past person. What does Virgo need to know in regard to the past person? Advice for Virgo. Oh, Virgo, are you here for more than one past person is what I want to ask. I feel like Virgo that you are picking up energy from more than one person here. I'm strongly picking up your energy, all right, but I feel like I'm getting two people that are your past person. Sorry to go quiet on you there, Virgo. I'm just I'll just let you know what I've got here, and you know, make of it what you will, Virgo, because like I said, I'm getting an odd energy, all right? I'm feeling like your person is two people. So but like you feel the same about them both. And like, so I don't know, like maybe there is a Virgo out there that is in like a poly past people sort of situation. I don't know. Um but I'll tell you what we have. And like I said, Virgo, you will probably know better than I your own individual situation. It's obviously a collective message as well. So I definitely may be picking up just on separate past people vibing a little bit different within the collective there. But okay, so what we do have is the lady followed by the stars. All right, so this sort of tells me that at some point, Virgo, the lady does talk, it's not necessarily a feminine, okay? It does talk about, you know, somebody who's a bit more emotional um, rather than logical. They're probably a nurturing type person, very queenly in the way that they are, like they're, you know, they the way that they present themselves to the world. And I do feel that I feel like this is past energy, to be honest. This stars energy, it does feel as though that at some point in time, you and this person were everything you each wished for. All right, like you meeting this person was their wish fulfillment and you were theirs. Okay, but obviously it's a past person. So for some reason, that wish, I feel like it changed at some point for both of you. That you know, but I feel like what, okay. So sorry, what I'm kind of getting here, Virgo, is that maybe we're looking at accepting that this is past wishes that were fulfilled, and that, you know, like those emotional wishes that you had, that you and your person had this time together, that was amazing because you got that wish and they got their wish, and while it lasted, that it was beautiful. All right, Virgo. So, and then I do have the mountain, all right, which was clarified by the letter. Now, the letter is a communication card. So for it to clarify, and it actually flew out a little bit. So it's definitely the right card to clarify that mountain. So it's kind of like some communication about the hard work that you had put in, that the perseverance, the determination to keep that. Like, I feel like I'm just looking at past energy, and maybe that's why it's coming through a bit oddly. Um, is, you know, one or both of you put in a lot of hard work into this relationship in the past. You put in a lot of hard work, and you climbed a lot of obstacles and delays with this person. It feels like you both guided each other up this mountain. You led each other along this beautiful path where you both got to the top of the mountain and you saw all the beautiful scenery, which was that wishes, the star card. Okay, you got to the top of the mountain and you looked out across the universe, and it was beautiful, and you had these things together. And so I feel like maybe it's communicating to you, Virgo, that, you know, communicating with yourself that, wow, what we did have was amazing. While we had it, it was awesome. It was all our wishes come true. We got through so many obstacles together. We persevered. We were determined to make things work. But for some reason, obviously, it's a past connection. So for some reason, it obviously at the end of the day there was something. Um, but communicating to yourself that don't dismiss it all. Don't dismiss all the happy times and the fact that, you know, there was a lot of wish fulfillment in that connection, that, you know, you did do all this hard work together. You both probably, I feel like you both probably helped each other grow in a lot of ways. So don't dismiss that. You know, keep a record of that within yourself. All right, is what I want to say for that there. Because then we do have, as the outcomes, we do have the key and the heart. And now that I'm sort of seeing the extent of this and the fact that that is in the past for you, Virgo, I do feel as though this past connection is in the past. All right. So the way that it's presenting, though, you know, and with the letter still present for you, clarifying, you may still have contact with this past person, but they are still the past person. All right, because what I'm actually getting now from, like, because at first glance it's a totally different message, but then when I'm actually getting into the energy a bit, I can understand it a bit clearer now that I'm actually in the energy. All right, so what I'm actually getting from this key is that, you know, you had a lot of success with this past person. You learned what love was, kind of thing. And but as an outcome, what it's actually done is it's like, it's unlocked this part of yourself. It's unlocked your heart to love in general, not necessarily to this past person, because the key really unlocks new doors. Okay, Virgo. So I do feel as though, you know, there's a part of you that's closing the door on this past connection, and that's what all this communication with yourself is about. You know, accepting that, even regardless of how much hard work you put into this connection, that it is the past. But you're unlocking the door, unlocking your heart to new love and new doors to open to you when it comes to love. I feel as though you're accepting that there's, you know, it's like that when God shuts the door, he opens a window, kind of a vibe. And this is the window to your heart opening up to you, Virgo. And I feel like you're really starting to understand yourself and the way that you love a lot more. And that, I feel like that's what's coming through here, Virgo, is like, I know there's probably a few of you that are watching that, you know, are wanting to reconcile with this past person and are wanting me to read this in a different way. But when I'm in the energy, that's what I'm getting. And like I said, the oracle cards kind of present a different message, and that's why I needed to delve deeper into the energy to make sure I was getting the clearest possible message for you. All right. And so when I've clarified those oracle cards, it has shown me the coffin. All right. So the coffin is all about death and rebirth. That's that closing that door so that the window can open. All right. So what we definitely are seeing here is that this past person, this past connection, you are closing the door on that yourself, Virgo, so that you can rebirth that same love energy somewhere else. All right. Because then when I got those oracles there, I got straight away that no and wait. Okay, because I'm strongly getting that for a lot of you, you really want this past person to be the message I'm telling you. Oh, this past person. But it's like, no, wait, which the coffin can also talk about wait, patience, because you really need to talk to yourself about how much hard work you've put in, but how much hard work you've put into yourself to be able to open up your heart to yourself, Virgo. And then we do also have the situation will improve, when I've asked for clarity of whether that was telling me, no, wait, or whether it was sort of talking to you, Virgo. It was kind of talking to us both, I feel. Like telling me, no, wait, don't interpret it the easy way, because that's not the message. All right. Like I said, on the surface, this especially with, you know, a couple of these cards on the table, like the stars and the key and the heart, they can actually talk about, you know, your wishes coming true with this person. But unfortunately, Virgo, that's not what we're seeing here, because it's, no, wait, it's not actually that person. No, wait. Just because I'm like, just you wait, Virgo, because these new doors opening up to you are going to be, you know, you may think that this past person was all your wishes come true, but no, wait, there's more. There's more, all right? So I don't know, that's off an old ad or something. But wait, there's more. If you buy these knives, you can buy the, sorry. The situation will improve. Okay, Virgo, you really just need to sit down and talk to yourself and close the door, close the lid on this past person, and open your heart back up to yourself, to be able to open up new doors, you know, in love. All right, so that's what I'm getting for you there, Virgo. I'm sorry if it's not the message that you wanted to hear. You are more than welcome to check your other placements, of course, or check your person's placements as well. But that's what I have for you guys today. So this ended up being a much longer reading than I had originally anticipated. I was thinking, about an hour and 20 minutes, but we've gone to 2 hours now. So awesome. I'm been losing my voice a little bit the last few days, so trying not to push it too much, but it is what it is, and I'm glad I stuck around and stuck it out for you guys, because we definitely got some really deep messages today coming through. Okay, so I hope they resonated for everyone. Leave me a comment and let me know. Everyone that comments will go in the draw for that free personal reading. But you know, make sure you like and subscribe and stay updated with the channel as well. But hopefully I'll see you all again soon.